Hi, everybody.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to TFT, Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with
Oberon.
and me, Banshee.
And this is...
Aries season.
Oh my God! Goddess.
It's our monthly modality message for Aries season. Happy birthday to my friends, the Aries, my fellow Aries.
However, the message is for everyone. Every sign fits into one of three modalities, and this is our unique astrological tarot reading that kind of tells you how your modality energies work with you over the course of the month.
That's right. You're absolutely right about that. And so I'm celebrating Aries season because we do this, of course, at the start of every sun sign, right?
Absolutely.
So it is Aries season. It is my birthday season. We're going to celebrate and party.
Happy birthday to Aries.
Like no tomorrow.
All right, so let's get started then.
Let's get started.
And of course, our guideline for the modality. So there are three modalities, and they are the Cardinal, the Fixed, and the Mutable.
Mutables.
We're going to go through them one by one, starting with the Cardinals.
Yes, let's start with me. I mean, the Cardinals.
Shall I shuffle?
Oh, I guess
While
you
you
can.
extol your virtues?
By all means, let's talk about us. So the Cardinals are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn.
Oh, so you're not the only sign there.
No, we are not.
I know, you're just the most important one.
Yes. Anyway. No. All right. But the positives of all of our cardinal signs are that in our own ways, with our own sun sign energies, we are initiators. We get things started. We're active. We're quick. We have drive. We have ambition. We have vigor. We are not slackers. We're enthusiastic. We have a zest for life. We're clever. And most importantly, we always win. No, we want to win.
However, like all the modalities, there are some negatives. So while Banshee shuffles to complete,
Yada, yada.
I will tell you that, Cardinals can be too domineering and too self-centered. They can forget about others as they focus on their own stuff. And they often don't finish what they start.
That's true.
But
The
enough
last
about that. More about them.
Guilty as charged. All right, well, let's get this reading started, and let me cut for Mr.
So we have four basic cards for each modality, starting with the first one, which is the primary focus for cardinal modality in the month ahead.
Let's see what you got there. Oopsie. Now, they're very thin, this deck. Using the Celestial Tarot, which is really nice. And we start off with, well, I said we were no slackers, but it's the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is upright. Well, maybe things are off to a little bit of a slow start for the cardinal signs during Aries season. It's possible here that maybe you just feel things aren't moving fast enough for you. Maybe you're getting bored. Maybe you're getting restless. Maybe you want to kind of pull back a bit because you just feel sort of like you've lost your enthusiasm.
Well, of course, Aries is a spring sign, and maybe spring fever is having those doldrums that indeed things are not moving fast enough. But the Four of Cups really can be talking about taking that time to ponder things, to look at the choices offered, or to consider the directions you might go in. So I think this is also saying, too, that dominates the month, the idea that you really want to take a little bit of an inspection on everything you're planning on doing that seems to be important.
Maybe, Mercury is retrograde now too. That's the other elephant in the room. So maybe, cardinal signs, you kind of want to slow it down a little bit, and you want to take some time to really assess what you're capable of, going forward, and what you can handle. And maybe if you have too much on your plate at this time.
All right, so card 2 is the role that your interactions, Cardinals, will play with others in the month ahead. So that could be work, home, all kinds of situations.
Well, clearly, others just don't get us. It's the Nine of Cups reversed. Perhaps our interactions with others are interfering, cardinal signs, in our ability to manifest what we really want. Maybe people are getting in the way. Maybe people are putting roadblocks in your way. Maybe there's just other obligations and things, which is maybe why that Four of Cups is here, that people are putting upon you right now that are holding you back from manifesting what you desire.
Well, I'm going to take a little bit of the opposite view here and suggest that maybe cardinals may feel like they are, or that their interactions with others will portray them as the spoiler in situations with other people. And other people will see them coming into situations and basically ruining wishes or spoiling wishes in some effect. And that's what the position says, your role in interactions with others. And so you may be the spoiler here. You may be the person telling somebody that the sun is not always bright, or that there is not always a silver lining. It could be that, this is from your own motivation, too, that you feel this is true, especially now with Mercury retrograde.
So you are saying, though, maybe that
your interactions with others may play. You may be that spoiler.
Well, what I'm saying is, though, that you're looking at the negative here, that perhaps we are trying to get people to work on our goals at the expense of them working on what they want to manifest in
That's very clever, just like an Aries would.
Hey.
Okay, well, I appreciate you pointing that out. So be forewarned about these sneaky Aries and Cardinals.
Wow, Capricorns, how do you feel about that? Put the Scorpio in his place, I say. All right. Hey, what's next?
So card 3, the opportunities or challenges you face in this month ahead and how best you may achieve them.
Well, it's the Fool reversed. So
unexpectedly.
Well, I think what this is saying here in relation to that question is the challenge is, can we avoid taking risks that are unnecessary? We like to go out on a limb sometimes, cardinal signs. We like to be the first to do something. So sometimes you have to take some calculated risks. And if you're careless, and if you're taking unnecessary risks, that could just upset the whole apple cart.
I don't know. As soon as you pulled that over, I thought of that expression, a day late and a dollar short. And that this may be saying that your interactions with others may just be ill-timed, whether that's by design or not. Remember, if you are trying to maybe, opportunize, their inactivity to become your activity, then that could be part of the strategy too, is just sort of downplaying things so that maybe they feel there's more energy with you.
So, finally,
how to use your modality superpowers to best advantage.
We just smite them. We just smite them with our sword. It's the Page of Swords.
The Page of Swords.
The Page of Swords. So maybe baby steps, baby swords. But no, I think here how you can use your modality superpowers is to get people enthusiastic about what you're trying to accomplish and do. If you want them support, if you want them to stand by you, or if you want them to maybe, if not assist you, at least not get in your way and understand why this is so important to you, be enthusiastic. Show them your passion. Show them that you're really moving on this and not, going to leave it hanging like we can often not finish what we start.
Well, the Page of Swords is about, grace, especially under pressure, but also diplomacy and tactfulness. And when you combine it with the idea of being enthusiastic, this is saying using your natural appeal to kind of create consensus, to create a welcoming, graceful atmosphere that will pull people in to understand your enthusiasm and therefore how theirs should relate.
You have to send out a positive message, and keep it
Right.
positive and maybe keep it fair. So, in other words, for example, if you're asking for somebody's help or asking them to hold off on things while you complete what you're doing, if they want your time or energy for something else, just try to buy them in with okay, if you're willing to step aside for me, I'll do this for you. Do some bargaining. Diplomacy, as Mr. O has suggested.
Indeed.
Indeed. That's what we have. So I don't know. Do you want to recap? Let's recap.
All right.
Real quickly. So the Four of Cups is about maybe taking some time away, maybe, being a little bit less motivated to get things done and rather look at what you're doing and what, whether you're doing too much or too little. It's time to maybe do an assessment and keep your eye open for any opportunities that may come along that could assist you in some way.
Yeah, this is a time for you to maybe consider what all those choices are. And you don't have to really focus like a laser on it, but it is really about taking the time to consider those options.
Mercury's retrograde, so it's a good time to maybe kind of do some thinking and planning. And you can involve others in that, but, it may be that others, your interactions with others, some people may be getting in your way, stepping on your toes, or putting some roadblocks in front of you, or maybe they feel like, their wishes and desires need your attention as well.
We're in card 2?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and to me that was kind of more like the spoiler idea that maybe you would be trying to dilute their presence or in some way, kind of downplay others. And of course, as Banshee pointed out, maybe to your possible use.
Yeah. And so the opportunities or challenges you face in the month ahead, well, I think it has to do with risk-taking and kind of toning it down, you guys. Sometimes you want to be the first at everything. You want to just go out on a limb. You want to be on the ledge of that cliff and take that leap. But sometimes it's better to wait. It's better to hold off. And what we said here was this was more a time of this than action.
And I suggested too little too late that maybe, this is about, something not exactly lining up with you time-wise. So you have to watch for that.
And finally, it just seems like your modality superpower of smooth talking. You got to be a smooth talker, you fire signs, and be enthusiastic and be diplomatic if necessary. In other words, if you're asking somebody to sacrifice their time and energy or the time they wanted to spend with you, so you could pursue your dreams, then offer them something in return.
Exactly. It's about being a smooth operator.
I thought you'd do that.
I knew you thought that.
That's what we have for the cardinal signs. Let's move on to our friends.
Move on to the fixed signs.
The fixed signs. And Mr. O will expound on them while I shuffle the cards.
Okay, so fixed signs are Taurus and Leo, Scorpio and Aquarius. And, they're each opposites to each other. Earth signs and water signs, fire signs and air signs. Their positives include steadiness, stable, determined natures, resolute, self-reliant, forging ahead, calmly working on objectives. Well, I don't know if I'm always so calm, but remembers those who've helped them. I do have a pretty good memory about some things. Persistence, concentration, powerful yet purposeful, no wanted... Wasted motivation. Sorry, the eyes...
Emotions. It's okay. No wasted motions. No wasted talk. Okay. So let's talk about some negatives here, shall we? They gotta have some, right? They're fixed in their ways, right? So here they are. They can be stubborn. They can be my way or the highway thinking. They have a tendency to get stuck in their ways. And probably the worst offense of all, they believe they are always right.
Go on, dear.
That's it. That's all I got. Not pointing fingers.
You cut me to the quick of that finger that you are indeed pointing.
Oh, dear.
Alrighty then.
We needed some good laughs today. Sorry at your expense. But...
the primary focus for the fixed signs in this month ahead.
Well, lucky you, fixed signs. It's a Four of Wands. It's another four. We had the
because we had the Four
cups.
of Cups the
Yeah.
last time.
Yeah. Well, this is
So,
your party time.
Fixed signs and the Four of Wands. The primary focus may be a little bit of devotion to the idea of structure around you, maybe stability. So you may be trying to stabilize certain environments you operate in. Maybe it's the work environment, maybe it's the home environment. You may also be trying to express yourself through the medium of the home by being gracious host, possibly, to people for parties or for meetings or things like that. But it really is a structure on growth, harmony, environment like that.
Well, it's, so nice of you to want to spend all your time and
Throwing you a
energy
birthday party.
celebrating my month-long birthday festivities.
There you go.
Woohoo! So, Four of Wands.
Since the surprise is spoiled, I can't have the surprise birthday party now.
That's okay. I don't need surprises. I just want the party. So, I have to say here, it's our unofficial TFT party card, the Four of Wands. It seems like there might be reasons to celebrate this month. Perhaps some of you fixed signs are celebrating a milestone.
In Aries.
Retiring, completing college, moving on up in the corporate ladder. Maybe it's a big birthday, a number 50 or something. Celebrate them all, I say. But it's also true what Mr. O said. It might be that right now you're celebrating the fact that you are right where you've got things right where they need to be. You got a firm foundation established for some goals or projects that you are working on, and you can take a few steps back to take a breath and, contemplate what's next.
Alrighty then. So card 2 is the role your interactions with others, or how it will play with others.
Well, it's the Three of Wands reversed, which is kind of interesting to me, too. I mean, it could say to me that, as far as this goes, you've got things where you want them to be, but are others, on the same page with you? Do others feel maybe like they're not a part of this process? If you are anticipating maybe some support or accolades from others, maybe not.
Well, the Wands usually talk about things that have some competitive aspects, and so it could be that, you are in competition with others, and others may feel like they don't have the certain advantage that you have. They may feel you are the natural owner of the particular competition, or there is a game that is afoot.
I like that. It's definitely could be something competitive. Maybe people, are kind of disrupting or trying to pull your attention away from your plans out of a little bit of jealousy, maybe.
So card 3 then is, what are the opportunities or challenges you face in the month ahead, and how best can you achieve or tackle these?
It's the Eight of Cups reversed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, there may be a challenge about realizing that you're just not ready to progress to another level that you might have expected. You might feel that there's either some business to take care of, maybe it's those competition things that are sort of hanging around there. But whatever it is, there's something that maybe is keeping you from moving in a direction you wanted. It could be planning. It could also be some sort of emotional ties to that part of the not so recent past that you have to, completely break before you can move ahead or in some way resolve.
Well, I guess the challenge for, you fixed signs is that maybe the challenge is battling yourself. I mean here, there may be something that important to you or that had some importance to you that you have to leave behind in order to achieve something greater, something higher, to move on, to move up, And, it's hard to do, sometimes those choices are tough ones. You're in a work environment where everybody gets along really well, you love your team, but yet You have an opportunity to move up the corporate ladder. And it's really, important in your development or at the stage in your life that you do so. Do you stay where you are in your comfort zone, or do you move on and accept the challenges that new things can bring?
So then finally, how can you use your modality superpower throughout this process?
Well, it's the Queen of Wands reversed. So that's interesting to me. I think you could use your modality superpowers to try to realize, that, and maybe I'm thinking about this Eight of Cups, and what's holding you back here is this idea that you feel so comfortable where you are. Why would you want to risk everything on something new when you may not feel that you have what it takes, that you may feel that you are just, maybe this is a matter of a sense of imposter syndrome, where you feel that people think you're ready for this big jump, but you don't feel ready for the big jump, or you feel if you take it, you'll only be fooling yourself and others because you don't feel prepared or ready. So I think, you need to really realize how self-reliant you are, how really strong you are, and that you are ready for this move. This is not a time to waste your motions doing what you've always done. This is a time to trust yourself and challenge yourself.
Well, with that Queen of Wands reversed, many of us may have been thinking that sometimes we can just kind of bluster and push our way through because of our energies, but this is really more a time to understand our subtle inward powers, our powers of charm, persistence, bravery, confidence, and some of those can be realized maybe at more inward, subtle levels where we don't necessarily get in everybody's face, because that could be the tendency sometimes of the fixed signs a little bit too. And achieve better by maybe going a little bit below the radar or something like that.
I like that.
Alrighty,
nice.
So let's wrap
it up. So clearly, some milestone has been achieved. There's something to celebrate. Maybe it's a step up at work. Maybe it's some other kind of a step that you have to take that's going to challenge you. But I'm going to kind of put this together and tie it in a story.
All right.
But don't anticipate others to necessarily help you figure out what you need, what you need to do moving forward. And I feel here there's this sense that you don't want to let go of something because out of fear that you're either not good enough, you lack the courage to really follow through with this. And I feel like your modality superpowers can show you, that slow and steady progress is what you're all about. You keep forging ahead. You keep fighting for your place in the sun. And so this is your place in the sun. You need to move forward and trust yourself that you are capable of handling it.
Well, you fixed signs may think this is party time, this is party month, this is enjoyment celebration month, but there still are the ideas that there may be some hidden competitions going on, some things you still have to address before it really is totally that. And maybe because of that, you may realize that not everything is done, not everything is going to click on your way towards moving somewhere. There's still maybe other challenges or things to do. And so resultantly then with your superpower, you are reminding yourself, I guess, over this, that you have to still work on some of your things at your strengths, but maybe at a more subtle level, and not let them be foisted out everywhere so that everybody thinks you're just a bully.
Is that it? That's all?
That's it.
Okay.
Isn't that enough?
It is.
All right. So that was the fixed signs.
Well, now we're on to those mutables. And they have a lot going on. I'm going to let you shuffle as I talk about these mutables. They're Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. Their positive attributes are many because they're mutable. They're likable. They go with the flow. They're adaptable. They're flexible. They're versatile. They're highly resourceful. They can change when necessary. And they find it quite easy to change, unlike a lot of us, especially those fixed signs. Just kidding, kidding, kidding. We're pretty bad too, we Cardinals. They can change and assume various personas. It's kind of like a chameleon. They can wear different coats. Well, they're well liked by others. They enjoy learning, playing fair, diplomacy, sharp, sympathetic, can see below the surface, selfless, quick to help others. Wow, I really went to town on the mutables here, but that's them.
There is a dark side, a negative to the mutables. Who knew? Mutables try too hard to please everyone.
And you can't.
They should only be pleasing the fixed signs.
What?
They can be wishy-washy, inconsistent, downright duplicitous. Yeah, two can keep a secret if none of them are Pisces.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Okay, can stretch themselves to the breaking point. Yeah, I kind of jumped on Pisces in particular.
I thought you were going to say Gemini.
In particular, well, you know, two can keep a secret if none of them are mutables. Okay.
I'm sorry, mutables. Forgive him.
Yes.
All right.
Mr. O is having his way.
It's having his day.
Indeed, fine, sir. All right, card one. Card one. The primary focus.
I'll read the things. Go ahead. The primary focus for the mutables for the month ahead is...
Getting even. 10 of Swords. Because you just heard Mr. O throw you under the bus. Now you're going to be after
Oh,
all.
no. Oh, no, Mr. O. You got all the mutables beating down our door. Yeah, that doesn't look good. I will say this, mutables. Clearly, some perceived betrayal has occurred. And, you know, you're feeling pretty bitter. You're feeling pretty bad. You need to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and move forward. But, you know, revenge is sweet sometimes. And I know there is a propensity to try to make that so. You might want to consider twice. We'll see where the cards are going on that.
The idea is maybe there a little bit, but it's not, it's only slightly inferred the idea that maybe one feels like they have been stabbed in the back.
Right.
One feels that something has really ended and maybe, you know, you are going to move on now away from this bad influence, but it kind of permanently marks you. So that's it pretty much for that. We'll go on to the next card.
Your role that your interactions with others will play in the month ahead. Ooh, well, that makes sense in a way. It's the Death card reversed. And so immediately what comes to my mind is this idea that, you know, this betrayal was pretty deep, or you feel that it was, and it's kind of, you know, made you kind of close yourself off from others. Maybe you realize that not all are friends right now, or, you know, or in the workplace, not all are true colleagues. You know, they're out to get you. So you might, and even in the family, so you might be kind of slowing down your communications with them. And also maybe you're not ready to do it yet, but you're probably contemplating and worried about the changes you may need to make based on what this betrayal has caused you.
It's not a really good card. It does sort of signify that mutables are kind of closing in amongst themselves. They're creating inaccessibility by appearing to be so stagnant that maybe nobody notices they're there. They're not moving at all. There's just
really shut you down.
Really a shutdown kind of process. And you know what? When that happens, you know, that becomes stagnant. That becomes bad. So you can't stay there very long, mutables. You have to figure it out how to get out of that. And so that involves perhaps card 3, the opportunities or challenges you face in the month ahead, and what are your best ways of achieving those. And maybe something here can jumpstart you back.
Well, before I go there, I did want to add something, and now I forgot it.
Good.
Can't believe it. But, you know, I feel here that you have to understand, mutables, that Mercury is retrograde right now. And so, you know, be wary. I understand why, in a way, you might want to pull back, because communications can definitely be taken the wrong way. Okay, so
Card 3, basically the challenges or opportunities.
It's the Princess of Cups.
So that's the page.
Reversed.
It's the Page of Cups reversed then.
So basically the challenge is that, you could get lazy here. You could get lazy, and also you could allow some of the negative energy coming from all of this to cloud your judgment, to cloud your inner wisdom, So in other words, this whole idea of the stagnation with others, well, it actually might be a good thing. Better for you not to react if your head is not in the right place, right? Or your emotions.
I think why it's a challenge is because this is not your normal, maybe intuitive self. This is really taking things at face value to the point where maybe you're not able to get an intuitive handle on something, and so you decide what it is just because of the way it looks or actually appears. There may be something else there that you're not quite getting, and so you're missing that opportunity.
That's a really good point. And, I feel here with this card also that sometimes the pages are bearers of messengers, right? And so I'm kind of feeling here the opportunity challenges is how you take it once this has happened to you, how you react. I think here that clearly, based on these two cards, your reaction is to just dead stop, and you're taking it rather sadly. You feel really bad about what's transpired here, clearly.
So finally then, how will your superpower, your modality superpower, can be put to best use this month?
Well, it's really interesting to me. It's the Prince of Swords, and so that means the Knight of Swords. And it is kind of interesting because, number one, your superpowers are basically, to go with the flow, but also that you kind of go with the flow. You don't move fast. But I think here what this is saying is that maybe you've got to break free from this stagnation and these bad feelings. You have to get your head together so that you can react fast and decisively to what has happened to you.
That Knight of Swords is about really moving towards a conclusion of some sort. And although your superpower may be your good nature to get along with things, once in a while you have to kind of be a little bit more of a provocateur, and that's exactly what your superpower will do to help you throughout the month. So it's time to recap.
Wow.
No?
No, because that, I like what you said there. I was going to comment a little bit on that. I think here that, this is a sign too that you can move fast, but I really don't recommend taking any hostile actions here. You're the kind of person, your superpower is about diplomacy, right? And so if you move fast, you should move fast to try to bridge whatever happened here. Try to find a way to heal.
Okay.
Rather than a way to hurt.
I like that too.
Proceed. You may recap.
All right, so here goes our recap then. Okay, so this was for the Mutables, and it starts off with maybe this idea that the main theme is about you feeling everyone's picking on you, or that you have actually or will be set up to be stabbed in the back. You feel betrayed. It could be typical mutable kind of feeling sometimes, but maybe there's something deeper going on here. Maybe the way you normally interact is slowed down because of this, and maybe you're not able to really express exactly what you feel to people, so people aren't necessarily understanding or wanting to believe that. But ultimately, where you may find it most challenging is in the Page of Cups, because you're liable to be just as bad at this as others are that you feel. You're sort of taking things at face value. You're not diving that little bit deeper to maybe understand where the currents really are, what is going on, what challenges this. And so really, when it comes to your superpower for the month, what you ought to do is be a little bit more brave and provocative. Get to the answers.
Okay. I really don't have anything to add. I pretty much have said what I can say.
Wow, I left you speechless. I can't believe that.
Well, I said enough. You would have to agree
you?
with that.
Have you ever said enough?
So, I actually no. I want to remind everybody that these readings are good for the entire Aries season.
Mhm.
Also, if we forgot to mention it in my excitement about it being Aries season, happy spring equinox to everybody.
Absolutely.
Enjoy the energy of the day, the balance between light and dark, and the fact that the growing abundant season is upon us.
Happy Ostara.
Happy Ostara. So that's it. Do we have any announcements? Oh, we do have one, I think, big one. We are going to be doing on Friday.
No, it's Saturday, right?
Is it?
Are you talking about fourth quarter?
No. Friday,
a week from
March
Friday.
28th.
A week from today, as a matter of fact. This is probably coming out on Friday.
March 28th, we'll be doing a special live show, which is past life readings only. So we are not doing regular questions. We're going to do past life readings. It could be about a past life former love or just in general a past life. But that's it. And join us. It'll probably be at 7 p.m.
Yep.
Eastern Standard Time that Friday.
And that's in addition to our regular live show on Thursday night. So you get 2 nights of us free with a special focus on past lives, Friday the 28th.
Making up for lost time. We should have done that past life reading a long time ago. So,
alrighty.
All right, everybody. I think that's it. Take care. Have a great Aries season. You know I will. And I'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.